We need one of those. It's got springs on the back, that's nice.
Like that, or okay, so I promised you guys that I would introduce you to our new piece of equipment that we were getting today on our live stream that I had last night. And I'm standing in front of our new hydraulic lift wagon that we're going to be using for hauling rocks and dirt and other fun stuff. So on the side of the wagon, first thing I see says Carroll, Hyder, Iowa. And I'm not sure if Hyder is the implement where it was originally sold, or if that's the name of the people who made the box, or what. But that is the logo on the side of the wagon. And as you can see, it's got extensions on top, right here. And we're planning on taking these off so that the Bobcat can easily reach up over the sides, and just to make things a little bit easier to reach. Since we don't really need that much storage in it. I mean, we just want to be able to haul the rocks from one place to another. And it's, this piece here should just lift off. And if we want to remove another section, we can remove these bolts here all the way up. And these are holding in those pins that are holding up the rest of the sides. And if we wanted to get real extreme, what we could do is we could come down to the bottom here. We could take off these large bolts. And that's what's holding the sides on entirely. So then we just have a flatbed wagon with a hydraulic lift under it. But of course we do want the sides on it, because the rocks will have a tendency to fall off going up the hill and whatnot. And so we're going to leave the sides on there, but we might take the top off just to make it easier for the Bobcat to reach without getting too tipsy. Now on the back here, I'm standing next to this light, and from what I noticed is that it's not a regular to the tractor light. If you look closely, you can see that button, that hole for a button there to turn it on. And there should be a battery pack sitting up under here that you can turn on and off if you're going to be driving down the road, and that would give you your flashing hazard light. Now here's the hydraulic lift, and from what we lifted it up, we can't see that it's leaking anywhere. Travis said it has a pressure release on the bottom, so it very well could leak. And the hose is a little shot because obviously, as you can tell, the wagon isn't brand new, but it has been really good condition. Whoever used it didn't use it that heavily for much of anything. Dad thought that maybe they were using it for ear corn because of the signs of wear on the back tailgate. But it's got Pioneer ends on it, so it hooks right up to the 76. Travis called it the ISO standard. I'm not too familiar with hydraulics myself, but that's that. And on the back, we have springs that can be adjusted, and I think they might need to be adjusted a little bit tighter to lift up the back gate. And that's really nice because our last wagon was a metal wagon, and it wasn't near this nice. It had a metal floor in it, but this one has a wood floor, but it's just, the metal didn't really have anything to support it. At least this wagon has secure sides that won't be apt to bend. So yeah, we're looking forward to using this spring. The real reason that we got it is because down at Travis's place specifically, we have issues with rocks coming up out of the soil due to the frost action in the soil over winter. What happens is that as you get freezing, the water that is around the rocks in the soil will start to push the rocks up out of the soil. And since this is an old mining community, there used to be a couple of mine shafts down at his place. So we get rocks from where they just threw rocks off into the field. So we have to go through every now and then and pick them up, and we haven't done it in about 2 years. So it's going to be about that time to go ahead and do it. So I think we might be doing some of that this spring, provided that the soil warms up enough, because that just rains all heck on your equipment, your chisel plow especially, and your disc. So we're looking forward to using this wagon, and we have to do a little work on the tongue here, because what we noticed is that when we were driving it back, it was a little wobbly, and we took a closer look at it and realized that the bolt that was going down through the tongue was broken off. They took the bolt with them, but it was just sheared right off, and it was rusted over, so it was like that before we started pulling it home. But they're going up to get a new bolt to put down through it, because if that broke off when we were on the road, it wouldn't have been any good. So and that should make the running gears a little bit more sturdy. Which brings me to my next point. If you look at the running gears, it's John Deere running gears, and Dad said that by looking at the tongue, it has a square tongue on it, and by that you can tell that it's a 1065 running gear, or 1060, yeah, I think you said 1065. And it's the same kind of running gear that we have under our gravity wagons down below the barn. It's sitting down there if you can see it, way off in the distance. But similar deal, and that one's an easy flow wagon, but the John Deere running gears are the same. So once they get back, we're going to put that in there, and then this should be about it for this video. Maybe run it up and down a few times and see what else we can do with it before we start to use it real heavy. So. I'll try it. Bingo.
Not quite. Keep going. She's not all the way there. Don't take it off and start over. $1 million question. Did you get it?
Okay.
Do the same thing here.
The reason we're taking this out on the road is because we wanted to see how much it sways back and forth, and as you can see, it's really not swaying that much at all. About it for this video, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to check out all of our other videos. So I'll see you next time.